Wait a minute. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Let me get her in here. Nobody's in here yet. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Nobody is in here yet. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Just waiting for people to come on now. Let's see. Let's see. Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. I am waiting for my guest to show up because she is going to be my person I'm interviewing tonight. How y'all doing tonight? I hope y'all doing all right. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing good on this beautiful Thursday. Hello, Angel Kisses, on this beautiful Thursday evening. Are you able to hear me? Just okay? They may not be able to hear me yet. Just give it a minute. Hi, Bran. It's good to see you. Awesome. We're gonna be starting here in a moment. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the person I'm interviewing to join. She's coming. And you guys are in for a treat tonight. We have a great interview with somebody that is in the industry and helps a lot of indie artists. So this is going to be a spectacular interview. If you don't already have your wine, snacks, soda, whatever you want to drink and eat, go grab it because this is going to be a good show. We're going to enjoy ourselves tonight. There we go. All right, Mama Global, I just invited you. You should be able to see it on your screen. Perfect. Okay. Can you hear
Greetings.
me?
Greetings. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you. Welcome to the team.
Wonderful.
How are
Welcome.
you?
I am doing really, really wonderful. And apologies for my lateness,
It's
but
okay. It's okay.
I'm
We were trying to
always
get it together
working,
too. It's all
always
right. It's
working,
all right.
always setting up interviews and so forth. You all already know. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming through.
Yes, this is the queen, Theresa. She is the owner, the co-founder, and she does everything for Global, and she does magazines, movies, music. She does everything. So I wanted to do this interview with her because she's so stinking awesome. We're gonna do my intro real quick, and then we're gonna jump into this. Mama Global, if you don't already have your wine or whatever you're drinking, tea, coffee, you can go grab it if you want to.
Well, let me go grab something and I'll be right on back.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to a very special show. This is all about your health, your mind, and your body. Now let me introduce you to your host, the lovely Mr. Nzuri. Let me interrupt you on your speakers and let me blow your mind. Let's talk about statistics in real time. Mrs. Surrey, she's the only one to bring it to ya. The only All right, all right. Those that are joining us, those that are joining us, thank you so much for being here. We have an exciting interview tonight with, I call her Mama Global because I've known her for so many years, but the queen herself, Theresa from Global Empire. She is the owner, I'll say owner co-founder because I know that her beloved is also, in the works with her as far as their company is concerned. But she does all things entertainment. She does magazines. She's in cahoots with movies. People with on Tubi. She's got her hands in everything. The entertainment industry as a whole, she is in it. If they're doing it, she's in it. She knows all types of celebrities, and she's always helping indie artists. So let me welcome Queen Theresa. Hi, Mama Global.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I was trying to turn on my camera, but I forgot I had to turn on my permissions first.
Oh,
And I always turn off everything, at a certain time so I can get things done. And, or else I'll have notifications going off everywhere. But
I know.
yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. If it doesn't let you on, it's usually because TikTok, you have to have a specific amount of followers. And I know that you use TikTok, but I know that you use YouTube a lot more than TikTok, Facebook a lot more, Instagram, those types of things. So, but you guys, when I tell you, like, she's got a lot of followers, and they're from everywhere. I mean, oh, they're, you're vast, you're so vast when it comes to entertainment. Um, like I want to ask you, when did you like start in the like just start like your career?
Actually, I've been in the industry since I was a young girl. My
Okay.
father, he was a huge businessman in Chicago. And so we owned a lot of record stores as well as restaurants. And
Nice.
so in the record stores, we had to learn all genres of music, right? And I was just a little girl. And so I would stand on a little stoop, and I would
Nice.
sell, yeah, I would sell records and MPs and all, I mean, all those things, 12 inches. And so I got to learn all genres of music. But as I got older, I moved out of the country. I moved to England.
Oh
And
wow.
so, right. And so I wanted my daughters to see the world. So when I came back, I realized that my father, he had kind of slowed down in the industry. He was also a producer, he had his own band, and he was just very influential in the music business. So I got to meet a lot of superstars. They were not really
Nice.
superstars back then, they were just starting out on their careers.
Okay.
The Jacksons, they lived down the street from us, and so many others. It's a litany of names, but I got to meet them. I got to find out all of their stories. So when I came back, I said, well, let me take it to the next level. And so that's what I did. I just started really simply on Facebook, and I
Okay.
was just playing music from all the different artists from around the world. But
Right.
I realized that a lot of the music, it was copywritten, so my pages would get, stricken and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I said, well, I need to find another avenue to get some of the unsigned artists out, to get their music played. So first, I started with the radio station.
Okay.
Simultaneously, I started YouTube channel,
Oh
and
nice.
so
Okay.
right. So I started with the radio station. I started playing everyone, and so they were becoming known all over the world. Then I met Danny Joel from 25L and La Familia Arts and Designs out of Australia.
Nice.
Yeah, he was just starting his international label, and I was basically just starting the empire. And so
Right.
he said, "What can we do? Let's take this into the universe," and that's what we did. So I started finding all of the best talent from around the world, and I started sending them to him. So
Nice.
yeah, he started putting them on his international mixtapes, and from there it just went crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the next step, because I'm always trying to push myself into different realms. And
Right.
so Boss Lady Radio, Diane Didisky, she's my mentor in the
I love
music game.
her.
Yeah, she is great. So she taught me everything about radio stations, and how to play the music and so on and so forth. So I said, okay, we need to do something more now. And
Right.
that's how Danny Joel, he first mentioned, well, why don't we start just out of the blue? He said, well, why don't we start a magazine? Neither one of us knew what we were doing. That's what's so hilarious.
Right,
Like
right.
her first editions they were sad. But
But no,
we
you guys
started,
did good.
yeah, I mean, to us, because he's the perfectionist, I'm a perfectionist, so he sees things that I don't see. I see things that he doesn't see. And so we make each other better. And
Gotcha,
so,
gotcha.
yeah, so we started putting out the magazines. And so that was another outlet for the artist, and the magazines are really cool because they're interactive.
I
They're
love the
online.
magazines. You guys have to check out the magazines. We'll give you all the information when before she gets off of this live, but like, yeah, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So the interactive is they're really great because on the pages in the magazine you can push icons and it'll take you different places. Either to their music stations or their Etsy stores or whatever. So we deal with entrepreneurs as well as music artists. Now we're into films, so we've met a lot of people in the film industry, a lot
Right.
of yeah, and producers. So we're bringing them over now as well.
Yeah, your
So
hands are you got your hands in all types of stuff. All types of stuff. Cause it's like ever since I've known you, you've been doing at least two or three things. And
yes,
now it's been years and you're doing five, six, seven, eight, nine things. Because you guys, she doesn't only do the entertainment side of it, she's also a philanthropist. She's always giving back to the homeless. She's always giving back to the domestic violence shelters, to mothers with children. She's always giving back. Something happened. Okay, it looks like we got cut off. Give me a second, you guys. 1 second. It looks like she may have gotten cut off. Mama Global, I sent you another invite. Not sure what happened, but she'll come back in a minute. As I was stating, yeah, so she does a lot of outreach. She helps a lot of people. Okay, 1 second. I sent you another invite out, Mama Global. I'm not sure what's going on with this crazy thing. But yeah, she does a lot of help with mothers, children, homeless people in general. She gives out coats, gloves, socks, food, anything you can think. She gives it out to the homeless. She's up in Chicago, so it gets very cold there in the wintertime, and she's constantly helping the less fortunate at all times. This is what her and her husband they both do it. They both do it all year long. They do it along with the entertainment side. So she has children, grand. Okay, I'm trying to invite you back. 1 second, because this is your interview. I'm not going to sit here and talk so about you. I can sit all day and talk about you, but give me a second. I'm trying to invite you back. Okay, it says you're invited, so you just have to accept it. Just let me know if it lets you. It should let you come back up. I don't know why that happened because it completely like just knocked you off. Okay, no worries. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, guys, so she does a lot for the community, her community. She's always done that because not only does she help on the entertainment side, she also helps the less fortunate. So independent artists, that's like huge for her because if you're an independent artist and you're good, I tell people all the time, send her your stuff and let her be the judge. But she's constantly putting people on, especially with Danny over in Australia. With his record label, she's constantly putting people on, or whatever the case may be, if they're good. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, I just clicked it again to invite you. That way we can finish. I just invited you again, so you should be able to see it. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It could be possibly the internet or something else. I have not a clue. On my end, I mean. It says that I have all my bars, but you know how that is. You don't see it? Let me try again. Okay. Okay, it says it was sent now. Check now for me. It should. It said the invitation was sent. Hold on, let me go back into here and see. It says I invited you again, so I'm not sure what the heck is happening. I don't like that. TikTok, why are you tripping? Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can invite. Let's see if I can invite somebody else up here. Oh, there we go. Hold on. I got it. I got it. Okay. We got to do it the other way. Okay.
I
Lord
think
Jesus.
that
Okay, we're back.
I
It
don't know
comes with
what.
the territory.
Of course, you know something. It's always something. Either
Absolutely.
sound or whatever. But yeah, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. So go
Yes,
ahead,
she
Quinn.
is here. So I was talking, letting them know about the philanthropist things that you do for your community, for the city, and then the things that you do helping out mothers and children and the homeless. Because you don't just deal with the entertainment sector, you also deal with giving back. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Of course. Well, I, because we have the magazine, a lot of people found out that I was an activist, a civil rights activist, and human rights activist. So they started reaching out. A lot of the young ladies that were, and men too, that were facing prison time
Mm,
because they were activists or they were speaking out against the police brutality and so forth. So
right.
what I decided was, okay, since I have so many outlets, let me go ahead and let me share their stories. Because of that, yes, I did lose a lot of channels. I am shadow banned, but we just keep it going, you
Yup.
know what I'm saying? We have to keep it
It's
going at all times.
inspiring though. It's so inspiring. Looking at, because you guys, when I say it's inspiring, the reason why we know the stories is because she puts them in the magazine. So when you looking, she'll tell you about a little bit about it, and then it'll be in the magazine so that you can go and you can look at the magazine. But I mean, the stories are captivating, and how she fights for these people that are even if they did mess up, they have a second chance, or maybe they didn't mess up at all, and it was something that happened, and they just didn't get justice. So she's gonna fight tooth and nail to get that damn justice. It don't matter what's going on, and that's what I love about her, because she literally is her own person. She's not taking, the word from anybody. She's gonna talk to the person, and then she's gonna fight tooth and nail to get them what they deserve.
Indeed. And what I do is I always do my research. People can't just come to me with a sob story.
Right,
I mean, I go behind the scenes and I find out what really happens. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So that way I'm not, or our organization is not just being used.
right,
There are some things that I had to back off of, and then there are others that we're still fighting till this day.
right.
You know, especially our women. There's a young lady, she was incarcerated, and I spoke about her, and I interviewed her, Brittany Martin, and
Yeah.
um,
Oh man, that touched me to my soul. But you could tell everybody else what happened because they don't know.
well, she was given 4 years, and the reason why is because she made a statement at a rally, a George Floyd rally, and it was a very racist city. They gave her 4 years. What I didn't know until a few days before they imprisoned her was that she was a few weeks pregnant. She gave birth behind bars,
Mm,
and her statement was, "I know that you're willing to die. We're willing to die for the black, but are you willing to die for the blue?" Meaning, and they misconstrued it, meaning we've always died because of the color of our skin.
right,
But in law enforcement, are you willing to do what we did
right.
and lose our lives for justice? And so, because of that, they said it was a terroristic threat.
Of course
And
they
they,
did.
yeah, there's so many others that I've interviewed over the years, and the stories keep coming and they keep coming and keep coming, and it does get overwhelming at times, but I just thank God that He's given me the courage and the strength. You know,
Right.
it yeah, it comes with a price, especially when you're an advocate or if you're a revolutionary or whatever you want to call it, your family will also be attacked. And so
Right.
that's one thing I wasn't ready for
Right.
because I said, wow, well, I'm fighting for my people. Why is this happening? And then I realized, and I just heard a voice that said, if not you, then who?
Who? Right. And you're the perfect person because not only because of your outlet, because I honestly feel like the outlet would have always been there because this is your platform, right? For you to be able to have the voice to speak out and to advocate for the people that are less fortunate, to advocate for themselves. So, yeah, I mean, it's your calling, you know? So it's one of those things where you got to take it with a grain of salt and just be like, you know what? Okay, I got to just do it. But you have to be able to time it because you be having your hands in all types of stuff. And sometimes you be needing to sit down.
You know what? Honestly, and my family tells me that all the time,
I
but
know.
they
I know your
know.
daughters do.
Yeah, they do. And physically, yes, it is harder and harder all the time. I'm not gonna lie because I am an elder now, but I know what God has called me to do,
I
so I
know.
can't just step away from my calling. I can
You're
step
right.
away for a second, like to get everything in order as far as health. And plus, I'm a cancer survivor. I survived cancer 3 times, so I have to think. Yeah, shout out to all of my warriors, but yeah, but sometimes you have to realize that you're not invincible. And so when I feel as though it's coming to that point, then I disappear. And my
Okay.
people know,
You
yeah, my
do. And
people,
we give you your space because we
you guys
know,
know,
you'll be like,
yeah,
okay, y'all, I'm gonna be gone for a minute. It's
yeah, and
understandable.
right. And I don't, I've never been the type that likes to bring my physical ailments, you know, I just have to deal with things certain times, and then other times I just won't speak about it. Period.
Right.
You know, I'll
Right.
just say I'm gone. I'll be back, and
Right. Right.
everyone knows that.
But we already
And
know.
yeah, and there are a lot of times where I will put off a few of the additions as well. Like, no, it's
Yup.
too taxing, it's too tiring, and then when you're juggling everything, and I'm a perfectionist. Yes, I have help, but
Yeah.
if I have to go behind people to get
That part.
something done, I'll just do it myself. Yeah, I'll
Just
just
do
do
it
it myself.
yourself.
And that's it. That's it. I
That's
don't
how
have
I
to
am
do
too.
it
Just let me do it
myself.
myself.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you complain about, God damn it, I can't never get no damn sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm tired as hell. I can't get no help. And it's my own fault. I know.
But yeah, but I do love the fact now that I control, you know, my days and nights.
Right.
Where before everyone else was in control,
Mm,
and for me, I will reschedule an interview in a second. I
right.
will put off music shows in a minute, like I said, because I had to start putting. And someone told me that too. They said you put everyone before you. No, that was my mother. God rest her soul. Before she died, she said you put everyone before you, sweetie. But if there is no you, these people will continue to do what they're doing.
Right.
So you take care of yourself so you can be able to help others. And so
Absolutely.
I started telling people I'm about to be selfish now. I might be selfish for 2 months, 3 months. You
That's
know what I'm saying?
okay.
Yeah.
As you should. Because if your cup is empty, your cup is run over, you need to refill it, but you can't refill it because you're constantly giving out the last little bit of drops that you got left.
Yes.
There's nothing left for you. There's nothing left for you. It needs to be refilled. But then you have to be able to have at least half of that cup and let everybody else get the rest of it.
And
Or three
and
quarters of the
my
cup.
yeah, and my beloved, he will shut things down in a minute.
Good.
Like, okay, no, that's it. No,
As
no,
he
no.
should. Because I know he
Yeah.
loves you. I know he loves you to life. And I know he wants nothing, bad to happen. or whatever the case might be, especially because if we're not, sleeping accurately, that
Mhm.
affects our health. It will
And
affect, and if there's a lot going on and you're trying to juggle everything, and then it's like, your brain is like overworked, that also
yeah.
affects it, you know.
And what's so crazy too is that we have people from around the world that are in the empire, and so we're on different time zones. So a lot
Gotcha.
of times I had to turn off everything, and I would forget to turn all of my notifications back on, but I had to turn it off because I would be getting calls and notifications at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and my
Mm,
beloved is like, okay, why is someone from Africa calling you at 3 in the morning? You see what I'm saying? Hey,
right.
strong.
Hi.
Queen Tings up in here, you guys. Strong Jules,
Absolutely.
one of, I can say, she is one of my biggest mentors in the game. And man, we did a magazine for her as well. And you talk about perfectionist. She really made me step up my game in, you know, in the magazine
I gotcha.
arena.
In the sector, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, because she said, no, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. I think it took us about a month and a half to finally finish it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? She was no joke. And so I said, if she's taught me something, and
Right.
I'll never forget it. So now before I put out any edition, I'll go through it 50 times, 60 times, because if I have other eyes looking at it, they're just so happy to be looking at it. They're not seeing what I'm
What you're
seeing.
seeing or what you're supposed to be seeing, exactly.
Right. Exactly. And so I'll find 100 misspells, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, see this? You didn't see this. And so finally, I'm like, okay, if instead of every month putting one out, I may put one out every 6 months, every 3 months, every 5 months.
Right.
It's my time is my time now, you know?
Absolutely. I know it's so weird to me because, like, when I'm looking at anybody's stuff, it doesn't matter what I'm reading, right? If somebody, like, I have a friend of mine, Dirk, and he'll be coming on next Thursday. He's an author, right? He's got some dope books out on Amazon. Well, I've read some of his stuff, like, before he actually, published it, right? And it's just reading it because he just puts it out there for people to read it or whatever, like little pieces. And that, man, I don't mean to do it, but I'll just be like, inbox him. I would be like, hey, Durkin, you got these things misspelled. Go back
Yeah.
in there and fix it before you do anything else with it, because this is just what I'm seeing. And he'd be like, man, sis, I appreciate you guys. He didn't
You
see
know
it.
what?
That's
You know
just
what?
me,
I'd
though. That's
rather
just what I
people
do. It's just, habit, I guess.
I'd rather for people to tell me the truth than to lie to me because
Absolutely.
they're friends. Don't lie to me. Tell me the
Hey,
truth.
sis.
Like Strong Jewel said, it sucked. This sucks. That sucks. Okay, that's off centered. Okay, that's a run on sentence. So I'm like, okay, but it's something about queens. We straighten each other's crowns.
Absolutely. Because that's
And that's
all
what
it
we're
is. It's basically like, you know what? I love you enough not to let you go out here and fall flat on your damn face. I'm going to help you. Right? And it's like, I love you enough for me to say, okay, you know what? I think you should do it this way, or whatever the case may be, however it's said. But I mean, that's how it's supposed to be with queens. We're supposed to uplift each other and we're supposed to fix each other's crowns. And when we see, one falling off, we're supposed to say, hey, what's going on, and fix it. That's what we're supposed to do as queens all the time. I don't, if somebody sees me and I'm outside looking a hot mess, right? And you are supposed to be my friend, and you don't say, you all right? Like, you good? Like,
Yeah,
is this something going on? I don't want to talk to you
exactly.
because
Exactly.
I may be
And
going through something at the time, but help, like, I may not be thinking about it, but I may be a little depressed, and I'm
and
outside, hair
also,
sticking out on all
yeah,
ends, looking crazy, and it's like, no, I need you to go back in the house, go wash your face, get your hair,
yeah.
that type thing, you know.
And you learn so much being on social media. And one thing I love about the Queen Tings, we hashtag that for years, Queen Tings.
Oh
It's
yeah,
so many, yeah, it's so many of the DJs and so forth. But we're all queens, and so it we know that we're all busy. We
right,
know that building our own empires.
Right.
And so we may not see each other, for months at a time because we're all on our grind. Like,
Right.
right. And so we may be on total opposite platforms. And then we'll come to another platform and say, okay, there's a queen thing. Okay, there's a queen thing. Okay, you see what I'm
Right.
saying? Because, you know, we've learned over the years, you cannot expect your core people to always be around. Let
Exactly, exactly. And of course, they can't be because everybody's busy doing whatever they're doing. I feel like taking accountability for yourself, obviously, if you know that you out here doing stuff you ain't got no business and you're expecting somebody to correct you, that's no, that doesn't even make any sense. But I feel like if it was like my sister, for instance, or my daughter, for instance, and they were outside acting a plumb fool, and I catch wind of it and I'm with that at that time, I'm gonna intervene because I want to be like, okay, what are you doing? Like, what's happening? So it's gonna be either one of the two things. It's either I'm going to help or I'm going to pull them away. Just depending on what's going on. But I definitely understand what you're talking about and what you're meaning by all of this. Absolutely, we have to be, and we should be able to hold each other accountable when we're in each other's space.
And you know what else is a beautiful thing too is the growth. I watch, especially the queens, I've watched the growth over the years, and it's
Hmm.
like, whoa, wow. Like from where we started to where we are now, it is so
Huge.
incredible.
It's
Like,
mind blowing to see
yeah,
even myself, but I mean, when you were already doing your thing when I came into your life, but you're even elevated way past when I first met you. So, like, it's congratulations to you and so many other people that I do know. They have been able to, they've been elevating at an alarming rate, and I mean, it's awesome.
and too, um, it depends on what you're trying to do on this planet. If you're trying to reach as many as you can, one thing I've learned is you have to step outside of your paradigms. You have to challenge yourself to do things you've never done before. When
Very
I
true.
started radio stations, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was cutting songs off, I was speaking over the songs and so on and so forth. So I had my mentor,
Right.
and that's one thing when you have great mentors in the
Thank you for
game.
coming in.
When you have mentors in the game, they will not let you fail. They
Right.
will check you in a minute, like, look, okay, we're friends. No, put the friendship aside. You trying to do this, let me tell you how to do it correctly. And when you think that you know everything, you know nothing. And so
Right.
that's one thing I had to learn was I had to listen to those that are in the game that know what they're doing. You
Right.
know?
Right.
Just
Because they're already in the game. So it's good to listen to them. I just wanted to give a shout out to my sister Giovanni and shout out to my daughter Ari. I'm not sure. I know Giovanni's here, but Ari, I just want to say hello and I love you. And I love you, Giovanni. Anyway, go ahead.
Queens, I see you, Queens. Hi, Quay. I'm sorry, I keep thinking about what is it coming to America too. Hi, Quay.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout them out before we went any further because I seen my sister come in and I was able to say like hi, and then I seen my daughter Ari come in and I wasn't really able to say too much to her when she came in, but she might be on here. She might have left. I have no idea. Anyway, so with everything that you've been doing, all the advocacy, all the advocacy that you've been doing for the homeless and for the women and the children, and then all of the entertainment stuff that you're doing, when do you make days for yourself where it's just you and your beloved, or just you by yourself to have self-care?
No, ma'am. I don't do whole days. I don't have whole days to spend just to myself. This is a typical day.
Okay.
I'll go to sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning, right? That is when my brain slows down. But then
Wow.
yeah, but then I start having visions. I don't know where they're from, whether they're from God or whether they're from my ancestors, but I see things laid out.
Okay.
This is what you need to do next. You need to call this person. And I don't even know why they're saying you need to call this person. And sure enough, when I call that person, they will say something like, "Oh, I meant to call you. I'm going through so and so." Okay, now I get why I was made to call you.
Mm,
So even when I'm resting, I'm not sleeping, I'm just resting my eyes because I'm always, I call them uploads, you know.
right, right.
This is where, and I've seen my future, believe it or not, you know, where the empire is going. And I give little clues here and there,
Okay.
but I also like to manifest. And I manifest,
Absolutely.
yeah, I manifest through God. Everything I've ever wanted to do, I've done it. Because first, I always pray for wisdom and discernment.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because you
My
have to have
discernment,
that.
yeah, my discernment was a little off for a moment there, but the wisdom, I pray for wisdom. How do I effectively do this? How do I effectively do this?
Right.
And someone said, "What would you like on your tombstone?" And I always said, "She lived and she died for her people." That's all I want on my tombstone. I don't want the day of my birth, the day that I transition, none of that. I
Right,
want my
right.
legacy. Yeah, I want my legacy to be not me, but what did she do for you? What did she do for you? Because everything I do is not for me. That's so,
Right.
you know, I don't make $1 million. You know, I don't have a lot of benefactors, all those things. And you know, and I've told people this before, 90% of what I do comes out of my own personal budget.
Yep.
Okay. And so sometimes, yes, we do get donations. Sometimes we don't. Our largest donations, they do come when we do our drives in the wintertime for our homeless. And
Right.
I actually show everyone what we're using the money for. I show the receipts. I show giving it out. I show feeding our homeless. And and this is not bragging. This is what we're supposed to do. All
Right.
of us. You know, you can't walk past a, a woman and children on the street and they're hungry and just walk by them like you don't see them. You have to do something.
Absolutely. Like help.
Yeah.
Help them.
And even if you can't, just let them know I can't right now, but when I'm able to, I'll be back.
Right. Because
You
a
know,
word is better than just walking past them.
that's it.
You know,
As if
like
they're
at
not.
least you see them and they see that you see them.
And sometimes they just want to feel human again. It's a human aspect. You know, let them know we're the same. You're just in a different position. I could be in that position one day, but we're still the same,
Right.
you know? And that came from my mother. She was an evangelist and my stepfather was an elder. And so they had their own church. And
Okay.
I remember one time in particular, they always fed the homeless every
Okay.
Sunday. So one time, my mother made a huge pot of greens. I know this sounds weird, but stick with me. So she made a huge pot of greens and she had a few other dishes. So they were feeding hundreds every Sunday. Now, these were people, drug addicts and prostitutes and so on and so forth. I mean, that were not welcome anywhere else.
Right.
And my mother always said, feed the soul, not just
Right.
spiritually, but physically. Feed your people. And so she kept feeding out of this huge pot of greens, and it never ended. And we
Wow.
were so shocked because we kept saying, it should be gone. It should
Right.
be gone. What is going on here? And I noticed that my mother, particularly, she had, she was so blessed spiritually that the things that she did could not be explained, you know,
Mm.
physically. It was all spiritual blessings. And so she passed down a lot of things to me. And that's why I am how I am till this day. And
Right.
my beloved, he made a joke once. He said, it's- I think someone was asking him for something. He said, "No, go ask my beloved." I said, "Well, why'd you send him to me?" He said, "Because I've seen you give your coat off of your back to someone."
Right.
And then I thought about it. I said, "But honey, I've got 40 coats." He said, "It doesn't matter. It's just that's who you're set up to be." And so I
Right.
think that if all of us did a little bit more for the next person, this planet would be it be it we be coming back to humanity, because it has fallen to evil. But with my radio shows, with my magazine and so forth, I like to show the beauty as well as some of the negative.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You have to be able to show both because it's the truth. I mean, it's the truth of the matter anyway. It's not all, it's not all like grim, you know. But showing people, giving people hope, in my opinion, is like the best gift that anybody could actually have, is to have that hope as well. I mean, not when you're freezing, obviously, but you know what I mean. Like it just in general.
I this is what makes me know that if I leave this planet today, I will be content. There was an artist, a young artist, and I played him a few times, and then we gave him an award for rising artist. He says, "I've never won anything like this in my life. I've never won an award. No one has ever featured my music." And I
Mm,
said, "Well, how long have you been doing this?" He said, "I'm in my 40s. I've been doing this for almost 20 years." He says, "And no one took the time out." So that encouraged me to find the best of the best, those that are hiding out, those that
right,
people overlook, so on and so forth. Like, I didn't even know when I first heard you. I said, wow, like she has got a powerful voice. Whoa.
thank you.
Yeah. And it's like I already know when I find certain people, I already know where they're headed. And
Right,
so it's beautiful to know, okay, I played you, but look at you now. Whoa. But I already knew that. You see what I'm saying?
right, right,
And so people are always amazed. How do you find such great artists? I don't. They find me.
right, right. Exactly. Absolutely. I feel like when you meet people, you meet them for a purpose. And some people you meet for a specific purpose at the time, and then they go away, and then some stay forever. So I thought that's how I see it anyways.
Right. I agree with that. Yeah.
I can't, give 1 second, Mama Global. I can't hear.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Oh, I mean that's yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. We can
No,
reconvene now. I
no
couldn't hear
problem.
anything.
No
Yeah,
problem.
technical issues.
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
yes, we are having. I just talked to one of the directors, Keith Lakeem Powell, and we've been finding music for his movies, and so now we're reaching other genres of movies. We're going into Nollywood, and we're going into yeah, Nollywood and a few other sectors. Because
oh
what I like
nice.
to do, yeah, since we have artists from around the world, I want their music to be in the movies in their countries, which only makes
Right. That makes sense.
right. So if I have 4 or 5 Nigerian artists, music artists, then I send them over to the Nigerian directors and producers. You
Makes sense.
see?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
That makes a lot
And
of
so we
sense.
do
Yeah,
a
because in
lot.
that way it's easier for them to connect too.
Right. We do a lot of competitions as well. Artist of the night, track of the night, who's going to win their music in the next movie. And so
Right.
a few, we had 2 artists, as a matter of fact, and their music is now uh, in movies. And
Okay.
so that's a great accomplishment, as well as the international label. There's so many artists that are now making great money because they are on international label. They're on an international label. So the reach is much further. And I always say, you don't want to be local, you want to be global.
Exactly. Absolutely. International is
Yes.
where it's at because you want the entire world to know who you are. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. Because especially if you have a good message to share with the world, um, then everybody should be hearing it, not just locally in your own town, not even in your just in your own state, not just in the United States. So I feel if you can get out there and you can get the world to hear you, then and a lot of times I know that overseas catches on and they like our music a lot more well before uh, the states
Yeah.
will, it kind of grasps onto it or whatever the case may be. The overseas, like in London over there, they it's like catchy more. I've heard it like they will adapt to it a lot quicker than over here. Then it travels over
And
here
I
after
know a
that.
lot of artists. Yeah, I know a lot of artists that are much more well known in other countries than their own.
Right, right.
So that's why I say, you've got to step outside of your paradigm. You've got to get your music all over because you never know who's looking for that genre of music. Such as
Absolutely.
Australia and New Zealand, they love R&B. They love hip hop. And
Right.
so the DJs and so forth over in those countries, we send them that type of music from our artists that they're looking for because there's a market for everything, but you have to find
Absolutely.
that market.
There definitely is. You just have to. I mean, it just has to be, I guess, right the right time. For me, it's timing for everything.
Yeah.
Like timing is for everything. Whatever is
Yeah.
going on, it has to be the right timing. I do have a couple more questions for you.
Mhm.
Like, so with everything that's going on, are you taking on any new projects, or you're kind of just staying in this lane?
No, I have so many projects coming up. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
How did I know you were gonna say that?
Indeed, the magazines. We have different magazines now. My co-editor, Danny Joel, he was assisting me. So now I created a lane where he has his own Australian edition.
Nice.
Right. And so I do a lot of teaching, on the side. Let's see. And then we have, well, I can't tell everything that's coming up,
You don't have to tell everything. I just want to know
Right.
little tidbits.
Right, but I can say that we have a lineup almost through July with um, with radio interviews.
Nice.
Yeah, with movie interviews. We have interviews with SA victims and DV victims, and we have
Nice.
right, we have men's panels, and all of these are going to be on my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to tune in. And it's not just, I'm veering away from, the headline news. I get more
Gotcha.
right. I get more into real stories in every country.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Because, I mean, anybody can hear headline news on any outlet. But when you're talking about real, like the personalization of it, that's definitely different.
Yes, yes, indeed. And so, like I said, we have a lot of projects coming up. We're still looking, of course, for great music. And we do artist development as well. So if an artist is just starting out, we teach them about their graphics. We teach them, um, you know, putting in your paperwork, so you can get your royalties,
Right.
about what's the difference between underground music as mainstream. I know a lot of mainstream artists as well. So we connect people, especially
Right.
the up and coming artists. We connect them with mainstream artists a lot of times, so that they will see what they're getting into. You
That
know.
part, like a firsthand look, exactly what they're doing, or they will be, or
Yes.
what they could be looking forward to, I should say, in
Because it's
that
all it's
aspect.
not all peaches and cream.
It
You
is
know.
not. It really
Yes.
isn't, and it's a lot of damn work. I was literally just looking at. I was looking at this artist, and he signed. I can't think of the name of the uh, the group right now, but he signed with a major group, and they basically had him sign a $1 million contract. He signed a $1 million contract. He goes to, so now he's paying, obviously, because it's a in advance, this $1 million. So basically, only thing that he was basically, how he was paying it back was from the ticket sales.
Mhm.
So, just for instance, if sometimes the ticket sales would be $150 a seat and more, and sometimes the ticket sales would only be $10 a seat. And only way he's paying this money back is if he's actually selling the arena out. If it is like $150 and up a seat, if it's, sometimes they would have these deals where it's only $10 a seat that you have to pay to get in. So guess what? Even if it's sold out, you're not making nearly as much as you need to get closer to that $1 million goal to pay them off. He ended up doing it in 4 years. He ended up paying them off, and he bought out his contract. But he said he would never do it again, and it felt like he was being robbed
And
because
they are.
he wasn't
And
getting
they
any
are.
royalties from anything else, any concessions. No money was coming from that. That wasn't putting back into the pot. So they were basically making $6 million a night off of just concessions, beer, wine, liquor, popcorn, hot dogs, whatever. They were making $6 million, and he was not clearing close to
Yeah.
that.
Well, I call it blood contracts.
That's
Also,
exactly what they're called.
right, you have to be careful as well because you will be signing, if you do sign to a major label, they will take insurance out on you.
Yeah.
So we know about those contracts as well. You're gonna eventually pay up. And
Yeah.
who's going to profit from it? It's not going to be your family. It's going to be your record label, i.e., that is why so many of the greats were found dead
Yep.
because they were either on drugs they to keep them, complacent, but
Yep.
the drugs took over their lives, so they were taken out, plain and simple.
Absolutely. And then
Yeah,
they take life insurance policies out on the artists, and they're the beneficiary. So
yeah,
when something does on somehow happens to you, then they're getting the payout. But of course, it had been going on for a long time as far as the life insurance policy, and you had no idea about life insurance policy. So now they're finna get paid when you die, which they already know about it, and they're finna get millions of dollars off of your death, and nobody else is going to get anything. No family members, no children, no nothing. So yeah, it's a very shisty and shady business.
so I've had so many artists that have come to me, and my suggestion to them: start your own label,
Label,
be your own boss.
yeah,
Yes, you're going to pay for certain things, but you will own your royalties. Don't
absolutely.
don't give those away to just anyone
Anybody?
because right, because you want to be on a big stage. You don't know what comes with that. And a lot of the artists that did sign with the major labels, they regretted it and they had to
Right.
get out of it and they had to pay their way out
Maybe the
of those contracts.
exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely, and that's the it's a sad situation, but this is the reason why when people, if I'm talking to anybody and they're talking about the industry, I always say, please just do your research before you do anything else.
Yeah.
If you don't do nothing else, do your research. Don't
Right.
think because it happened to somebody else that it won't happen to you if it's a major label. They're only out for self. It has nothing to do with you. As you can see, literally, there's a lot of artists out here that are mainstream right now that suck ass. I'm just gonna put it out there, right? But they can sell records, or if they can create streams, and they can be a distraction with all the other nonsense that they got going on. So of course you put them in the forefront, so that way people are not paying attention to the real issues that we actually got going on. So,
Yeah.
there's a purpose for everything that they're doing, you know. So I just tell people, watch, watch everything. Watch everything. That's all. Just watch everything.
You know what I call these artists now? I call them distractors.
Yes, absolutely, because that's
You-
exactly what they do.
Right. They put in who they want to put in. And
Yep,
then that controls the minds of the next generations. You have enough twerkers, you have enough Cardi B's, you have enough gangbangers, so on and so forth.
yep,
But those that are making real music, very, very great music, you don't know anything about them. And so that was my job, is to let them know,
right.
no, this is bullshit what you're listening to. We're gonna play great music. Here's where to find
Absolutely.
them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mama Global, I want you to give, before we end the show, I want you to give everybody your handle for anybody that wants to connect with Theresa, Queen Theresa. Anybody wants to connect with her, she's going to give you her information, because I know that there are a lot of artists that are listening. Or you may want, however, even if you want to give back, if you want to donate to her foundation, any of those things, or if you want to reach out to her because you do music or any of these things, she's going to give you her handles for her social media, so that way, you can reach out to her if if you have music, whatever the case, and you just want her to give a listen, and she may be able to help you in some sort of arena. So, Mama Global, go ahead and give your information, please, madam.
All right. Well, I'm putting it in the chat, but that is my
Oh, thank you.
Cash App. No problem. That's my Cash App for any donations. It does help. It really does help with
Yes.
everything on. On YouTube, you can find me at Global Empire ENT. Global, and the cover is it says "We are one." We are one, and that was one of my logos back in the day by Danny Joel. So Global Empire ENT. For the music, you can find us on iHeart, Deezer, Spotify, Google Playlist, iHeart. Just look for Global Empire ENT Radio. You'll hear a lot, all of our past shows, all right? And Nzuri was on there as well. You will also hear the interviews as well on there, but mainly we do most of our radio shows there. Let's see what else on Instagram. Let's see, I have so many channels. Hold on. Okay, someone is sending me something on Instagram. I cannot read it right now. This is my lady from France, but it's global underscore empire underscore ENT underscore media. Global Empire ENT media, all underscore in between. You know where I am on Twitter. If you'd like to send any music, please only send MP3s. We cannot play MP4s on the radio stations. But no, I've had that before, but just send that to Global Global Fire Mag MAG 2021 at gmail.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. Let's see, hold on one second. Fire Mag 2021 at Gmail. Also, when you send your MP3s, whatever you do, please send on the subject line. You can write the artist name as well as the name of the track. A lot of times people just assume that we know who the artist
Who it
is.
is.
Right. If you also send links to your media sites, that helps a lot. So let's say there's a producer or there's a beat maker or there's a director that wants to see all of your social media sites. I have to be able to send them somewhere. So yeah, so we're always scouting new talent.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you. I
welcome.
want to just, we're going to do our wrap up. And I want to tell you, thank you, first of all, for coming on the show, Mama Global. And secondly, I want to tell you thank you because, like, you, when we first met, like, it was just like a bright star shining down on me to so that my light could shine too. So it wasn't like, you didn't when I met you, you wanted to do an interview. We did an interview and you opened, I guess you could say, like, you made me more comfortable, if that makes any sense. And I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that we met. And I love you so very much. And I cannot wait to see what you got coming because I'm all up in it. I am
Thank
all
you
up in
so
it with you. And I just love you so much. And I thank you so much for joining us tonight and letting everybody
much.
know all about who you are as the queen.
Thank you so very much for bringing me on. Of course, it is always an honor. It is always a pleasure. And whatever you do, stay blessed and stay true to your calling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys, we're going to get ready to wrap this up this evening, but I do want to thank everybody for being here tonight. It's been a pleasure having Mama Global, the Queen Theresa here. If you guys go ahead, send out your information if you do want to go ahead and start working with her, or whatever the case may be. Other than that, it has been a lovely Thursday night interview with Mama Global or Queen Theresa. And I do want to thank everybody for coming out. I have a blessed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and Monday. And I will see, no worries. I love you. And I will see you all. I will see you all on Tuesday. I will let you guys know exactly what the topic will be. There will be a flyer that will be coming out. But next week's shows, it's going to be phenomenal. So I just want you guys to know, make sure you tune in on Tuesday and on Thursday. All right. Other than that, thank you guys so much for joining again. I love I love my family. Uh, I love my family that's on here, my sister, my daughter. I don't want to miss anybody, but bro, if you're still here, I love you too. If I think Mama Global's still in here, I'm not sure if she left, but I love you. I love everybody. Put it that way, okay? So this 2024, we're going, and I'm ready to take everybody with me. So enjoy your evening. Have a beautiful and blessed weekend. Y'all stay safe out there. This is Nzuri with Creative Artist Spotlight signing out. It was less viewers this time.